is Thursday. That, of course, means we are back in nutrition educator Lynn Matava's kitchen. Today, she whips up a fast and fresh quinoa recipe.
So what is quinoa? Quinoa is a pseudo grain. It's actually related to spinach and amaranth, and it's a food that comes to us from South America. It's gained in popularity in the last, 15 years or so, and it is a food that packs a serious nutritional punch. It is a complete protein, which means it has all 9 essential amino acids. Usually you don't get that from a plant-based source all from itself. You'd have to eat peanut butter and jelly or rice and beans. But here it comes with all 9 without eating a big juicy steak, which is pretty cool. It also has about, like I said, it has like 9 grams of protein per cup. It has about 5 grams of fiber. So that combination works to keep you full all day, and it's very versatile. It's also high in a lot of essential minerals. It's got manganese and copper and folate, and that's our B vitamins, and zinc and all sorts of other things. And it's high in iron, just things that are really, really good for our bodies and just really keep us strong. So what we're going to do with it today, we're going to kind of make just like a mix, a layer, I guess I call it, a layered quinoa kind of salad thing. So I prepared this already, and the ratio is about 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water, the same way if you were cooking rice. It takes about 15 minutes to cook. Now, this is what you would call a white variety of quinoa. There are also red and black varieties, and just like any other time I point out to you when food has those deep pigmented colors, the red and black varieties are going to have more of those phytonutrients, the antioxidants that are really great for our overall long-term health. But the reason I'm using this white, it has a little bit more or a little bit less of that al dente kind of bite to it. So it's a little bit softer, and if you've never had quinoa before, I think it's a great place to start. And all I'm going to do to this today, I have got some mushrooms that I sauteed to throw in there, and these are some shiitake mushrooms, and I just sauteed them in just a teeny bit of oil this morning. And now I did put a little bit of miso in there to give them like a nice umami flavor. Mushrooms kind of have an umami flavor on their own, and umami is like that pleasant, savory kind of flavor that really just kind of gives it something special when you're eating food that has that. And I should have mentioned, when I cook the quinoa, you can cook it in plain water. I actually put a little miso in that just to kind of tie the flavors in. You can cook it in chicken stock or vegetable stock or whatever liquid you have. I took one of those clamshells of spinach and I cooked it down. It took about a minute on the stove just to put maybe about a tablespoon of water and a little bit of oil to coat the pan, and it cooks down to just about 1.25 cups, it looks like there. So that whole clamshell just cooked down to basically nothing. And then I've got some pepitas. These are the inner part of pumpkin seeds, and I just toasted them on the stove with a little chili powder just to give them a little flavor and kick. And the last thing I have here, I have got some chilies and adobo sauce, and these come in cans. You can get them in the grocery store. You can get them in some of our local tiendas in the area. These are spicy. I just wanted a little bit of color. They throw that red in there, and they got a little bit of heat, and I like the adobo sauce because then it's just an extra kind of flavor that I'm throwing into this. And they're pretty spicy, so I'm going to use 2 of them, and then I'm scooping out about another tablespoon of the sauce, just to throw all of that in. And then all I'm going to do is mix all this together and just make a fun little vegetarian lunch, or even a hearty side for myself. This is actually for me and a ton of friends, it looks like. It's a huge bowl, but this is going to feed me for lunch all week this week. And again, it's just, this is a completely plant-based, high-protein meal, so it's really just fun, great thing to do. But other things you can do with quinoa. You can make breakfast out of it. You can make sweet breakfast where you kind of eat it like oatmeal and maybe add in a little bit of milk, a little bit of maple syrup. You can make savory breakfast. Quinoa is really tasty if it's toasted on a pan and on top of the stove, and maybe you could scramble an egg in with it, kind of like a stir fry. You can sprinkle it in salads. You could put it in soups. Any place you can think of that you might use rice, quinoa is a great substitute with an extra nutrition nutritional punch. So if you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend you get out and try some. It's available in most grocery stores, and I know it's available all over the shore here.